Welcome into John Alexander Gymnasium for tonight's district action on JISD Live. I'm Lee Traylor, class of 2005. Tonight's senior night game pits Jacksonville against the visiting Marshall Lady Mavs. Jacksonville comes in to tonight's game with an overall record of 26-7 and a district record of 12-3. The Maidens are averaging just under 58 points per game while allowing just over 40. Jacksonville is looking to add to their 3-game winning streak after most recently defeating the Mount Pleasant Lady Tigers on Tuesday in a close game by the score of 47-43. The Lady Mavs have struggled this year and come into tonight's game with an overall record of 4-23 and a district record of 0-14. They are averaging just under 34 points per game while allowing 57. Before having this Tuesday off, the Lady Mavs fell to the Mount Pleasant Lady Tigers by the score of 71-40 last Friday. Taking a look at the season schedule, there are a lot of green wins and not a lot of red losses on our schedule graphic, and that's due to the Maidens' sparkling overall record of 26-7. Tonight is senior night for the Maidens, and we'll be celebrating the 5 seniors on this team, all of which have had fantastic high school careers. After this game, in between the varsity girls and boys basketball games, we're going to have a senior night ceremony, so we'll be bringing you that on JISD Live. Jacksonville sits in second place in the district standings, trailing only the district-leading Tyler High Lady Lions. Marshall is in 9th place and is looking to play the role of spoiler by getting their first district win against Jacksonville here tonight. Mount Pleasant sits in 3rd, Knack in 4th, Lufkin in 5th, Texas High in 6th, White House in 7th, Hallsville in 8th, and Marshall in 9th. Tonight's player spotlight is Kaya Cox, who's a senior guard for this Maidens team. One of 3 active members of the 1,000-point club, Kaya has proved she can score and score a lot, so look for Kaya and the rest of the seniors to have a big night here tonight.
At this time, let's meet tonight's starters. First for the visiting Lady Mavericks of Marshall. Starting at guard, senior number 2, Joy Burks. Starting at another guard, senior number 11, Janisha Harris. Starting at guard, senior number 22, Lacey Williams. Starting at forward, senior number 44, Brianna Robinson. And starting at forward, senior number 3, Kalia Williams. The Lady Mavs are coached by Mr. Joe Hicks, assisted by Kim Henderson, Kim Martinez, and Hunter Punjab. Jacksonville. Starting in guard, 5'8" senior number 1, Kaya Cox. Starting in another guard, 5'2" senior number 2, Kaylee Boyd. Starting in guard, 5'7" senior number 3, Tranija Barra. Starting at guard at 5'5" senior number 4, Sakia Anderson. And starting at forward at 5'9" senior number 24, Kiki Robertson. Your Fightin Maidens are coached by Ms. Sheree Schmidt, assisted by Bianca Lacey and Randall Kobe. Your officials for tonight's game are Mr. Roderick Davis, Mr. Stephen Williams, and Mr. Tom Dowdy.
We're just about set to get started here. Thank you for joining us on JISD Live. We are also bringing you tonight's soccer action from the historic Tomato Bowl as your Fightin Maidens take on the Texas High Lady Tigers from the Tomato Bowl tonight. So if you would like, you can find that stream on JISDlive.com. Once again, I'm Lee Traylor, class of 2005, and tonight I am bringing you everything that you see in here. I'm on the camera, I'm on the audio, on the commentary, so you know who to blame tonight. My email is publicly posted on JISD.org, so you know who to fire it off to if it doesn't look good and sound good. Marshall wins the tip and trying to move it around, but stolen by Sakia Anderson. Tries to lay it in at the other end, can't quite do it, and Marshall headed back the other way. Marshall moving around the three-point line. Now, shot is up and in for Janaisha Harris. And Jacksonville bringing it back the other way. Kaylee Boyd with it for the Maidens. Now Butler. Butler into the corner. Kaya Cox puts it up, gets the rebound. And now out to Anderson. Anderson from three is up and in. Sakia Anderson puts Jacksonville ahead. 3-2 is your early score here as your Maidens have the 1-point lead. Great defense from Kiki Robertson as she gets the steal, brings it the other way. And then Sakia Anderson adds to her total as she gets to pay off the end of that sequence after the steal and assist from Kiki Robertson. So Sakia Anderson with 5 quick points for Jacksonville to give them this 5-2 lead here early in this game. It is senior night, as we mentioned in pregame, so you had an all-senior starting lineup for Jacksonville. That's Kaya Cox, Kaylee Boyd, Tranija Butler, Sakia Anderson, and Kiki Robertson. As they stick with that lineup coming out of the timeout. So an all-senior team on the court currently for Jacksonville. And I'm sure we'll see a lot of that here tonight on senior night. Marshall bringing it ahead. Good defense from Kaylee Boyd. The Lady Mavs trying to move it around and get an open shot. Pass sent inside, knocked away, and now brought ahead by Jacksonville. Anderson gets the ball to Butler. Butler turns the corner, gets to the bucket. and gets fouled.
Foul is on number 22, Lacey Williams.
Lacey Williams called for her first foul of the game. Jacksonville set to inbound. Kaya Cox sends it out to the corner. Anderson up for three, no good. And then out of bounds. So Marshall set to inbound. Marshall with several substitutions earlier, and now Jacksonville with a sub as well. Tia Fuller is going to come in for Kaylee Boyd. Marshall brings it past half court. Lady Mavs looking for an opportunity on this end of the court, but Jacksonville's defense been suffocating so far, and it continues. Butler with the steal, now the other way. Tries to lay it up at the other end, but gets fouled on the shot attempt, so she will shoot two. Great steal and drive from Trinijah Butler. And our first free throws of the night will be for Jacksonville and Trinijah Butler, looking to extend Jacksonville's early lead. First is up and good for Butler. Second is up and good for Trinijah Butler. Marshall quickly up the court. And into the lane. Now stolen again by Butler. Butler full court, steal and lay in. 4 points for Trinijah Butler. And Jacksonville with the 9-2 lead. Three is up for Marshall, no good. Rebound put back, no good. Tia Fuller with the ball for Jacksonville, brings it ahead, and now long pass ahead to Anderson. Kiki Robertson tries a three, up, no good. Rebound, Lady Mavs. Marshall moving the ball around, keeping it outside of the three-point line so far. Now into the lane. That shot is up and short, no good, and then blocked by Tia Fuller. Tipped to herself. Fuller sends it ahead. Open look for Kiki Robertson. Great sequence for Jacksonville. Tia Fuller with the block, and then Kiki Robertson with the lay-in. Three for Marshall is up off back iron. Rebound, Trinijah Butler. Butler all the way into the lane, puts it up and puts it in. 6 points for Trinijah Butler, and Jacksonville with a 13-2 lead here early against the Marshall Lady Mavs. Trinijah Butler has a seat to get a break, and Janisha Gray will check in for Jacksonville. Marshall set to inbound. More great defense from Jacksonville. Kaya Cox out on the run and puts it up and puts it in. Jacksonville not slowing down here in this first period. They have started hot, and it has stayed that way. More good defense from Tia Fuller. 2:48 remaining here in the first. Jacksonville with the 15-2 lead against the Marshall Lady Mavs. Marshall inbounding. Entry pass jumped by Tia Fuller, and Tia out on the run, and she lays it in at the other end. Great defense to great offense from Tia Fuller. Timeout called Lady Mavs. So 2:34 remaining here in the first. Jacksonville with the 17-2 lead. 6 points for Trenija Butler, 5 for Sakia Anderson, and then 2 apiece for Kaya Cox, Tia Fuller, and Kiki Robertson. Your 2 points for the Marshall Lady Mavs are Janasia Harris. So Jacksonville impressive early here in the first. And senior night going well for Jacksonville so far. 17-2 to start, with still plenty left to play here in this opening period. Just about done with this timeout, so Jacksonville set to take the court again, as are the Lady Mavs. On the court for Jacksonville, Kaya Cox, Kiki Robertson, Tia Fuller, Janisha Gray, and Sakia Anderson. Lady Mavs with the ball, set to bring it past half court. Marshall almost lost it, but keeps possession. Now pull-up shot is off the rim, no good. Kaya Cox fighting for the rebound, but the Lady Mavs control it. Now into the lane. That pass was intended for Asia Nelson and deflected out of bounds off Jacksonville. So Lady Mavs set to inbound underneath the Jacksonville basket. 3 is up, off iron, no good. Tia Fuller with the rebound, and she'll bring it ahead. Sent ahead, lay-in from Sakia Anderson. And Jacksonville adds to their lead. Now the Lady Mavs looking to find some offense, as since that Janasia Harris field goal earlier, no points for Marshall. But now a 3 is up and does not fall. Rebound, Janisha Gray, and she's out on the run for Jacksonville. Now she sends it back to Kaya Cox into the lane, puts it up through contact, and it falls. Strong finish from Kaya Cox, and she'll head to the line with an opportunity for a 3-point play. 1:17 remaining here in the first. Your score is Jacksonville 21 and Marshall 2. That shot is up, no good, but immediate rebound from Tia Fuller. Now Marshall with the ball at the other end, but pressure defense from Fuller. And now Anderson. That ball sent into the backcourt, and it's going to be picked up by Anderson, and she's going to lay it up at the other end, but Tia Fuller with another offensive rebound. And your score is now 25-2. Jacksonville out in front in the last 30 seconds of this opening period. Lady Mavs with the ball, trying to get something going against this Jacksonville defense, and they will get a foul call.
Foul is on number 4, Sakia Anderson, her first personal. First quarter team foul number 1.
Sakia Anderson gets called for her first personal foul. So Marshall set to inbound. And they successfully do that. Now trying to send it back into the lane, but stolen by Jacksonville. Kiki Robertson sends it ahead to Tia Fuller. Tia across half court. And now sent to Kaya Cox into the lane, and she'll be fouled. Another good possession on offense for Jacksonville. Kalia Williams called for her first personal. And Kaya Cox at the line for Jacksonville. First is up and in. So Jacksonville starts 3 of 4 from the line. Second is also good for Kaya Cox. Marshall quickly up the court and quickly stolen by Tia Fuller. Tia lays it up through contact. And that's the end of the first. Jacksonville with an absolute hammering in this first period. 29-2 is your score after one period of play. Jacksonville extremely impressive in that first period. Hard to point out anything that could have gone better for Jacksonville, as that first period was pretty masterful. 29-2 once again is your score after one here at John Alexander Gymnasium. We get a performance from the Jacksonville High School cheerleaders. For Jacksonville in that first period, 6 points for Kaya Cox, 6 points for Trinijah Butler, 7 points for Sakia Anderson, 8 points for Tia Fuller, and 2 points for Kiki Robertson. So Jacksonville sharing the scoring burden through one period and sharing a lot of it. 29 points in the opening period for Jacksonville, and they've held the Lady Mavs to just 2. So a very impressive start to this game for the Maidens. Jacksonville moving the ball around. Kiki Robertson puts it up in traffic and gets fouled. Kalia Williams gets called for her second personal foul. And Kiki shooting 2 from the line. First is up and good. Second is good as well. Jacksonville adds to this lead. 31-2 is your score. Lady Mavs moving the ball around on the other end, trying to manufacture some offense. Jump ball called. Marshall will keep possession. Lady Mavs inbound. Trying to get the ball inside, but another jump ball. So Jacksonville will take possession. Good defense from the Maidens, as they'll take possession and bring it up the court. Tia Fuller sends it ahead for Trinijah Butler. Butler into the lane. Now Cook kicks it over to Kiki Robertson, who's good on the shot attempt. Lady Mavs bring it ahead. 3-point attempt is up, no good. Rebound, Tia Fuller. She's quickly up the court, past half court, now into the lane and lays it up and lays it in. 10 points for Tia Fuller. 35-2 is your score as Marshall brings it ahead. Lady Mavs moving the ball around the three-point line. Trinijah Butler went for the steal, almost had it, knocked out of bounds, and so the Lady Mavs set to inbound past half court. Three is up for Marshall, no good. Rebound, Tia Fuller. Tia sends it ahead, looking for Butler. And now Butler to Kaylee Boyd, whose three is up and in. 38-2 is your score. Jacksonville with the big lead. That shot for the Lady Mavs, no good. Rebound to Kaylee Boyd. Kaylee gets it to Tia Fuller, who's going to bring it ahead for Jacksonville. Now hands it back to Boyd. Boyd to Butler, to Robertson, back to Butler, to Boyd, into the lane to Tia Fuller. Try and get that pass to Robertson, but no good. And Marshall will bring it back the other direction. Lady Mavs need to find a bucket. That shot is up, no good. Tia Fuller bringing it back for Jacksonville. Straightaway three for Kaylee Boyd is up, no good. 5 minutes remaining here in the first half. Lady Mavs with the ball. Jacksonville with a 38-2 lead here in the second period. More good defense from Jacksonville, and that ball will be sent out of bounds. Marshall bringing in a whole new unit as they make their way over. They're getting set for this inbound. Trinijah Butler gets another break, and Janisha Gray going to check in for Jacksonville. Now Lady Mavs with the ball. Looking for an opening, but this Jacksonville defense is not giving them any easy shots tonight. That three is up, no good. Offensive rebound, put back, no good. Now Tia Fuller sends it ahead. Sakia Anderson lays it up and lays it in for Jacksonville. Nine points for Sakia Anderson. And Marshall with it as they control it on the Jacksonville end of the court, looking to get something inside. That shot is up and good. Asia Nelson with those points for the Lady Mavs. So your score, 3.5 minutes remaining here in the first half, is Jacksonville 42 as Tia Fuller gets the putback, and Marshall 4 with 3:15 remaining here in the second. That pass trying to get to Nelson, but no good, so Jacksonville will take over. Kaya Cox checks back into the game for Jacksonville. Sakia Anderson gonna get a breather. Jacksonville gonna bring it ahead. Tia Fuller hands it off to Kaya Cox. Now to Butler. And over to Robertson. Robertson gets it back to Kaya Cox. And then Tia Fuller. Good pass to Kaya Cox, who gets fouled, so she'll head back to the line.
Foul is on number 1, Ava Flanagan. Her first personal, second quarter team foul number 2. Kaya Cox, shooting 2.
First is up and good for Kaya Cox. Jacksonville starting 7 of 8 from the line in this game. Second is up, no good. But offensive rebound, Kiki Robertson. And Marshall bringing it the other way. Lady Mavs with the ball. And three-point opportunity for Jasmine Fletcher. She's able to get the shot to fall and gets fouled by Kaya Cox, her first personal. So Fletcher at the line for Marshall. No good on the free throw, but the putback is good from Nelson. Jacksonville now bringing it ahead again. Kaya Cox into the lane, gonna get fouled. It's Joy Burks picking up the foul, her first for the Lady Mavs, and Kaya Cox at the line. First is up, no good.
Checking in for Marshall is number 10, Tatiana Culberson.
Second is up, no good for Kaya Cox.
2 minutes remaining in the first half.
2 minutes remaining here in the half. Jacksonville with the big lead. 43-8 is your score with 2 minutes remaining in the second period. Marshall looking to get some offense to put points on the board at the end of this half, but Jacksonville's defense again proving effective as they force the turnover. So Jacksonville set to inbound. And Tia Fuller brings it ahead. Fuller quickly into the lane and lays it in. Great move and great finish from Tia Fuller. She's now got 14 points in the first half, and Marshall brings it ahead at the other end. 45-8 is your score. Lady Mavs trying to get that inside to Asia Nelson, but can't connect on the pass, so Jacksonville will take over. 109 remaining here in the first half. Jacksonville with a 45-8 lead against Marshall. This pass sent ahead. Kaya Cox into the lane, lays it up, can't get it to fall, but does get the call. So she will head back to the line as she's been able to get to the line multiple times here tonight. First is up and good for Kaya Cox. Second is up and good for Kaya Cox. Lady Mavs bringing it ahead. Nelson puts it up, no good. And out of bounds off Kiki Robertson. So Marshall keeps possession. 42.8 remaining here in the second period. 47-8 is your score. Lady Mavs into the lane. That shot is up and good from Nelson. Nelson now with 6 points as Jacksonville brings it the other direction. Fuller into the lane. Now sends it back out to Butler. Butler pulls up. No good on the shot attempt, and Marshall quickly the other direction. And then loses the handle. I believe that was Tatarea Culberson. So Jacksonville the other direction. Tia Fuller to Kaya Cox. Final seconds of the first as Kiki Robertson gets the putback after the offensive rebound. So at the end of the first half, Jacksonville with the 49-10 lead. A huge first half for the Maidens. 49 first half points for Jacksonville, and they held the Lady Mavs to 10 points through 2 quarters. For Jacksonville, Tia Fuller with 14 points, 9 points for Kaya Cox, 9 points for Sakia Anderson, 8 points for Kiki Robertson, and then 6 for Trinijah Butler and 3 for Kaylee Boyd. What that means is 6 out of 7 Jacksonville players have scored so far, as Janisha Gray still trying to get into the scoring column tonight. She's provided valuable minutes tonight, as she always does, and we'll see if she can get into the scoring column in the second half. But every Jacksonville player has scored save 1 in the first half. And then for Marshall, 2 points for Janasia Harris, 2 for Jasmine Flesher, and 6 for Asia Nelson. So absolutely gigantic first half for the Maidens. 49-10 is your halftime score here at John Alexander Gymnasium. I'm going to step away for 1 second, make some camera adjustments. So if you see some kind of herky-jerky movements behind the graphic there, that's why. Bear with me, as it's a one-man band here tonight. But thank you for joining us on JISD Live. I'm going to step away. I'll be back in just a few minutes. Welcome back as we are just about to get started with the second half of action here for your varsity girls basketball action between Jacksonville and Marshall. Jacksonville comes into the second half with a 49-10 lead against the Lady Mavs. Big first half for Jacksonville. It is senior night as well. Big first half for the 5 seniors on this Fightin Maidens basketball team. And we'll see if Jacksonville can keep it up here in the second half as they are up big going into the third period. Lady Mavs with the ball to start. And Jacksonville, again, not conceding anything inside the three-point line on defense. And Marshall trying to move it around now. Gets it just inside the three-point line, off on the shot attempt, and rebound Kaylee Boyd. She's going to bring it ahead for the Maidens. She sends the ball over to Butler, back to Boyd, now to Anderson. Open look in the corner, passed up from Robertson. Now straight ahead three for Kaylee Boyd is up and in. Marshall bringing it the other direction. Jacksonville 52-10 is your score at the 7-minute mark here in the third period. Lady Mavs with the ball and moving it around. Tough shot is up, no good. Rebound Kaylee Boyd. She's going to bring it ahead for Jacksonville. Anderson back to Boyd now. Trenija Butler, three up, no good. And rebounded by the Lady Mavs. Now the Lady Mavs quickly out in transition. They get a shot up, but no good. And then offensive rebound. Three is up, no good. And then rebound Kiki Robertson. Kiki headed the other way. Nice move, but off on the lay-in attempt. So Lady Mavs bringing it the other direction. Deep three is up, off iron, no good. Offensive rebound and then blocked from Kiki Robertson. And then Lady Mavs lay it in. Kalia Williams with the lay-in for Marshall. And Kaylee Boyd brings it ahead for Jacksonville. She sends it to Kaya Cox into the lane, fouled. She'll head to the line for Jacksonville. 5:48 remaining in the third. Jacksonville 52, Marshall 12. Big lead for the Maidens here on senior night, and senior Kaya Cox at the line. First is up, no good. Jacksonville, after starting 7 of 8, have missed their last 4. 7 of 12 for the lines for the Maidens. Kaya Cox, second shot, no good, as well as the cold streak from the free throw line for Jacksonville continues. Marshall brings it ahead the other direction. Looking for a shot. And now trying to get that pass inside, but deflected. Good defense from Jacksonville again, but foul called. Kiki Robertson called for the foul. I believe that's going to be her first personal. So Marshall set to inbound. And the Lady Mavs control it. And again, move it around the perimeter. Three is up and banked in from Tatiara Culberson. Jacksonville quickly past half court. Kaya Cox sends it ahead into the corner. Kiki Robertson now back out to Kaya Cox for Jacksonville. Tia Fuller in the lane, puts it up, no good. Rebound, Kiki Robertson. Second chance points for Kiki Robertson as she's got 10 points for the Maidens. Marshall at the other end. And again, Jacksonville's defense just not allowing this Lady Mavs team to get the ball into the lane. Successfully done there, but then immediately stolen by Kaya Cox. Sent ahead for Butler, just out of reach. So a lot of impressive things for Jacksonville, when you have a 54-15 lead, there's going to be a lot that you can point to that's going correctly for your team. But one thing worth pointing out is this Maidens team just simply not allowing the Lady Mavs to get the ball inside the three-point line for the vast majority of this game. Excellent defense from Jacksonville so far through 2.5 quarters. As we're at the 4-minute mark here in the third period, this shot is up and no good for Marshall. Rebound Jacksonville. Now Tia Fuller quickly pushes it past half court, gets to the bucket, lays it up, can't finish, but rebound, put back. Jacksonville, another offensive rebound, and now an open look at three for Kaya Cox, who gets her own offensive rebound, and then finally Marshall controls it as Jacksonville, with multiple second chance opportunities on that possession, not able to pay them off. Lady Mavs send it ahead. That pass trying to get inside, and again, Jacksonville defense not letting that happen. Jump ball called, and Jacksonville will take over on the alternating possession. Great defense from Janisha Gray, and Jacksonville will take over possession. Sakia Anderson going to get a break, and Janisha Gray going to get a break as Kaylee Boyd comes on for Jacksonville. She sends it to Trenijah Butler, and now Kaya Cox, cross-court pass. Butler into the lane, puts it up, no good, and then rebounded by Nelson, but deflected, and Tia Fuller finishes through contact and one opportunity for Tia Fuller. Jacksonville 56, Marshall 15, 2:52 remaining here in the third period. And Tia Fuller with an opportunity to add to that from the line. Tia's free throw is up and in. And that snaps a five missed free throw streak for Jacksonville. Jacksonville, another steal. Trenijah Butler stolen and all the way down court, finishes at the other end. 8 points for Trenijah Butler. Jacksonville on defense. Marshall pull-up shot, rattles the rim and falls for Culberson. Difficult shot, and Culberson able to get it to fall. Now Kaylee Boyd to Kaya Cox, three up, no good. Rebound Tia Fuller, and Tia can't get the second chance points, but Kiki Robertson, another offensive rebound, and Jacksonville gets an open look for Kaya Cox from three. And then Culberson fighting for it for Marshall. Now Lady Mavs out on the run. Kaylee Boyd slow to get up in the backcourt. Boyd able to get to her feet, but still slow to get off the court. She's going to get a round of applause from the crowd as she's able to make it to the bench. Sakia Anderson coming into the game for Boyd. She'll get checked out by the trainer. Marshall ball as they are set to inbound. Culberson into the lane, now sends it out. Deep three is up, no good. Rebound, Kaya Cox, who sends it ahead quickly for Anderson. Great pass from Kaya Cox. And Sakia Anderson with her 10th and 11th points of the game make it 61-17. More good defense forces the turnover. And now that call overruled, so Marshall will keep possession. Inbounded into the lane and then out of bounds, so Jacksonville now set to inbound. 1 minute remaining here in the period. 61-17 is your score. Jacksonville with a big lead against the Lady Mavs. Tia Fuller bringing it ahead. And now Anderson sends it to Butler. Butler into the lane, lays it up, soft off the glass. Trinijah Butler with 10 points on the night. And then on the inbound, after the Kaya Cox steal, I believe that was Culberson that got called for the foul. So Kaya Cox at the line for Jacksonville. First is up, no good. Second is up, no good. Jacksonville will keep possession. Jacksonville 8 of 16 from the line. Kiki Robertson puts it up, gets the rebound, and second chance points for Kiki Robertson. 12 points for Kiki, and Marshall quickly the other direction. Culberson with the ball for the Lady Mavs. Good defense from Anderson. That three is up, no good for Marshall, and rebound Kaya Cox. She sends it ahead to Butler. Butler, good pump fake and then fouled. Ava Flanagan going to be called for the foul. And that's her third personal, so I think earlier I was incorrect. That previous foul was not against Culberson. First is up and good for Butler. Second up and good for Butler as well. 67-17. Closing seconds, deep three from Tatiara Culberson. Difficult shot put in by Culberson at the buzzer at the end of the third period. Makes your score after three. 67-20. Jacksonville with a big lead here after three on senior night. Once again, getting a performance from the JHS cheerleaders under the direction of Lauren Carlson. Doing an excellent job tonight, as they always do. 67-20 is your score. The Maidens with a commanding lead here entering the final period. Huge night for Jacksonville. Leading the way for Jacksonville, Tia Fuller with 17 points, and then 12 points apiece for Trinijah Butler and Kiki Robertson. 11 points for Sakia Anderson, 9 for Kaya Cox, and 6 for Kaylee Boyd. For Marshall, 8 points for Tatiara Culberson, 6 for Asia Nelson, and then 2 apiece for Janasia Harris, Jasmine Fletcher, and Kalia Williams. Lady Mavs set to start with the ball here in the final period. Good defense from both Kaya Cox and Trinijah Butler. Marshall will keep possession, but they're forced to inbound. Deep inbounds pass. And now deep three is up. No good. Rebound Kaya Cox. She sends the ball deep down court, looking for Anderson, but that ball tied up. Jump ball, and Jacksonville will keep possession. So some good defense. I believe that was Lacey Williams for the Lady Mavs. So Kaya Cox set to inbound for Jacksonville. Corner three from Sakia Anderson is up and good. Marshall quickly up the court. 70-20 is your score. Jacksonville with the 50-point lead at the just under the 7-minute mark here in the final period. Jacksonville with the steal, and Tia Fuller bringing it ahead for the Maidens. Kiki Robertson pump fake and then drives in the lane, puts it up and puts it in. Good move from Kiki Robertson. Adds to the Jacksonville total. Tia Fuller called for the foul. Marshall inbounds. Can't get it to fall, and Tia Fuller brings it ahead for Jacksonville. Jacksonville quickly up the court. Good ball movement, and Trinijah Butler finishes the transition for Jacksonville. 74-20 is your score. Marshall with the ball into the lane now. Outside shot up, no good. Butler rebound, sent ahead for Anderson. Anderson can't get the layup to fall. Rebound Kaya Cox, and she loses the handle. And the Lady Mavs will bring it ahead. Marshall trying to get that ball inside, but stolen by Sakia Anderson, and then sit ahead for Trinijah Butler. Butler now with 16 points, and Jacksonville with the 76-20 lead here with 5:20 remaining in the final period. Marshall into the lane and then shot up, no good. Offensive rebound. But now Kiki Robertson with it for Jacksonville and out on the run. Pulls up, off back iron, gets her own offensive rebound. Another shot attempt blocked, but then recovered by Tia Fuller. Tia gets it to Trinijah, who puts it up and puts it in. Butler now with 18 points. And Jacksonville has stretched this out to a 78-20 lead with 4.5 remaining here in the game. Lady Mavs with the ball. And now Anderson tries to cut that pass off as we'll get substitutions. Janisha Gray checking in for Kaya Cox for Jacksonville. And multiple subs for Marshall. Lady Mavs set to inbound. Culberson with the ball for the Lady Mavs. Three is up and good. Her second three of the night. 11 points for Tatiara Culberson. Now Jacksonville at the other end, moving the ball around. Butler sends it into Robertson. Robertson puts it up. Good looking shot from Kiki Robertson after good ball movement from Jacksonville. Results in an open look for Kiki Robertson. 23-80 is your score. Jacksonville out in front ahead of Marshall. stolen by Tia Fuller, and Tia Fuller lays it in at the other end. 19 points for Tia Fuller. 82-23 is your score. Culberson with the ball for the Lady Mavs. That pass sent inside. That was one of the rare times tonight where Jacksonville concedes the interior pass. Is now at the other end. Janisha Gray with the offensive rebound. Anderson, three up, no good. Offensive rebound, Tia Fuller. Now Janisha Gray with a three, up, no good. The Marshall ball. 82-25 is your score. 2:23 remaining here in the game. Culberson brings it ahead for the Lady Mavs. Deep three from Culberson is up and in. She's hit 3 deep threes here tonight. 82-28, and timeout called. 2:03 remaining here in regulation. Your score is 82-28. Jacksonville with a huge lead here tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, now entering the game are 5 Maidens seniors. Give them a fine round of applause.
And with just a couple minutes remaining here in regulation, we do have our 5 seniors, the 5 seniors who started tonight for Jacksonville, as it is senior night here for the Maidens. That's Kaya Cox, Kaylee Boyd, Trinija Butler, Shakia Anderson, and Kiki Robertson. This corner three is up, no good for Anderson. And Marshall will take over. Lady Mavs bring it ahead. Culberson with it for Marshall. Culberson pulls up, off glass, no good. Rebound, Kaya Cox. Quickly the other direction, sends it ahead, and laid in by Trinija Butler. Good assist from Kaya Cox. Trinija Butler now with 20 points for Jacksonville. Culberson with it for the Lady Mavs. Another deep three for Culberson, this one short. And Kaya Cox again with the rebound, bringing it ahead for Jacksonville. Spins into the lane and puts it up and puts it in. What a move from Kaya Cox. Spins into the lane, rises up, and banks it off glass. 86-28, under a minute remaining here in regulation. Culberson with the ball for Marshall. And now stolen by Kaylee Boyd. Past half court, and Kaylee Boyd puts it up, can't get it to fall. Rebound, Kiki Robertson, and now Trinija Butler controls it for Jacksonville. Kaya Cox into the lane, can't get it to fall. Kiki fighting for it. Jump ball called. Marshall possession. 5.9 seconds remaining here in the game. 86-28 is your score. Jacksonville ball as they are set to inbound. Kaylee Boyd inbounds it to Trinija Butler underneath the basket. Quick bucket for Trinija Butler. She's got 22 points, and that will do it. Senior night couldn't have gone much better for your Jacksonville Fightin Maidens as they come away with an 88-28 lead 88-28 victory here against the Marshall Lady Mavs. Senior night, and your seniors absolutely showed up. 11 points for senior Kaya Cox, 11 points for senior Kaylee Boyd, 22 points for Trinaja Butler, also a senior, 14 points for Sakia Anderson, and 16 points for Kiki Robertson. Janisha Gray, also plenty of impactful minutes here tonight on defense, hustle plays out in transition. And then for Tia Fuller here tonight, 19 points. So everybody getting in on the action for the Maidens in this huge 88-28 victory, as your seniors get recognized here on senior night. This senior group has two members of the 1,000-point club in it. That's Kaya Cox and Trinaja Butler. And then Kiki Robertson with over 750 career points. So just an absolutely special group of seniors. Absolutely deserving of all the praise they have received throughout the year and here tonight. Really great group of seniors that represent Jacksonville Independent School District and just the city of Jacksonville very well. So a group that not only excels on the basketball court, be it during the regular season or in tournament play where they've had tons of success, but also a team that excels in the classroom, really high average GPA that we've talked about throughout the year. So this is a really special group of seniors. Jacksonville also recognizing some of the seniors for Marshall as well. A really impressive night of action here for the Maidens. Once again, if you're just tuning in to
Senior night here at John Alexander Gym. Our first Maiden seniors, number 1, Kaya Cox.
Once again, if you're just joining us, if you're just tuning in for the upcoming boys varsity game, tonight is senior night for the Maidens.
Her favorite memory was when they played White House in the second round and Trinaja hit 2 plus 3-pointers. Also when Trinaja, Sakia, Tia, and Kiki kept Ding Dong ditching the coach's door. Ladies and gentlemen, Kaya Cox. Our next Maiden senior is number 2, Kaylee Boyd. Kaylee is being escorted by her mom, Kaylee has participated in basketball, track, and cheer for 6 years here at Jacksonville High School. Following graduation, she plans to attend the University of Houston and major in nursing. Her favorite high school memory was hitting the game-winning shot her sophomore year in the Dallas Coke Tournament. Ladies and gentlemen, Kaylee Boyd. Our next maiden senior is number 3, Trinija Scott Butler. Sky is being escorted by both of her grandmothers, her dad, her mom, and her aunt. While at Jacksonville, Trinija has participated in basketball, volleyball, and track for 6 years, including middle school. Some of her activities include being a member of the National Honor Society for 1 year. Trinija plans to attend Angelina College to study medical sonography. Trinija's favorite high school memory was when she hit the game-winning three-point shot against White House. Getting to bond and have fun with her teammates last season while at the Dallas Coke Tournament and winning the Dallas Tournament Championship 2 seasons ago. Ladies and gentlemen, Trinija Scott Butler. Our next maiden senior is Miss Sakia Anderson, number 4. Sakia is being escorted by her mom, dad, and sister. While at Jacksonville High School, Sakia has participated in volleyball for 6 years, basketball for 6 years, and ran track all 4 years. Some of her activities here at Jacksonville include being a member of HOSA for 4 years. Sakia plans to attend Tyler Junior College to study sonography to become an ultrasound sound tech. Her favorite high school memory was playing in a game at the Pine Tree Tournament, and Kaya fell out of nowhere. Ladies and gentlemen, Sakia Anderson. Our final maiden senior is number 24, Kiki Robertson. Kiki is being escorted by her mom, dad, papa, and granny. While at Jacksonville High School, Kiki has participated in basketball for 6 years, track for all 4 years, and volleyball for 2 years at middle school. Some of her activities here at Jacksonville include being a member of HOSA for 4 years, an officer for the last 3, student council all 4 years, and an officer for 2 of those years. Kiki plans to attend the University of Houston and major in nursing. Her favorite high school memory was being able to finish out her last high school basketball season with friends she started playing little dribblers with. Ladies and gentlemen, Kiki Robertson. Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have our 5 maiden seniors back to the middle of the floor? Our 5 maiden seniors. Just the seniors. Ladies and gentlemen, how about one more round of applause for our 5 maiden seniors?
Really great senior night presentation here for the Maidens. If you're just joining us in anticipation of your Fightin Indian varsity basketball game, tonight was senior night for the Fightin Maidens. And in addition to that great ceremony that we just had, the Maidens came out with the 88-28 victory against the Marshall Lady Mavs. So a massive win here for the Maidens on senior night. Congratulations to seniors Kaya Cox, Kaylee Boyd, Trinijah Butler, Skia Anderson, and Kiki Robertson. We are just about set to start pregame activities for your Fightin Indians. Thank you for joining us on JISD Live. I'm Lee Traylor, class of 2005. I'm going to take a quick breather, and I will be back with you shortly. Once again, welcome into John Alexander Gymnasium for tonight's district action on JISD Live. I'm Lee Traylor, class of 2005, and huge update, ladies and gentlemen. I'm no longer flying solo as JHS senior Boston Helm has arrived to the rescue to run the camera for tonight's boys game. So huge thanks to Boston. And you're no longer stuck with just me. You've now got an expert in the building. So at least we know things will look good. I can't promise that they'll sound good. But speaking of tonight's game, Jacksonville comes into tonight's game with an overall record of 13-18 and a district record of 5-8. The Indians are averaging just under 55 points per game while allowing just over 56. They're looking to get back in the win column after dropping their last 3 games and their most recent contest against the Mount Pleasant Tigers. The Mavericks come into tonight's game with an overall record of 5-19 and a district record of 1-11. They're averaging just under 47 points per game while allowing 57. The Mavericks enjoyed a night off of action on Tuesday and most recently fell to the Mount Pleasant Tigers last Friday by the score of 66-44. And now let's take a look at the season schedule. Jacksonville started the season slowly, but has really found their footing in a tough district slate. Since starting the season 4-12, Jacksonville has gone 9-10 over their past 19 games. The Indians have tonight's game against Marshall, and then will finish up their regular season with the Tyler Heat, Lufkin, and White House. Jacksonville currently sits in 6th place in the district standings, and Marshall currently sits in 9th. Jacksonville is looking to end their season strong and hopes to claw their way back up the standings as we near the end of the regular season. Expect a motivated Maverick team intent on throwing a kink in those plans tonight, however, as we should be in for a great night of action here from John Alexander Gymnasium. For Jacksonville to get the result that they want, they'll need a big contribution from tonight's spotlight player of the game, senior forward Naz Coleman-Hawkins. Naz is a big part of the second unit for this Indians team and provides a big impact off the bench. Keep an eye on number 11 when he's on the court. And we're just about ready for our pregame starting lineups, as we'll get the national anthem and then into the starting lineups from PA announcer Mr. Don Couples.
At this time, let's meet tonight's starters. First, against the Mavericks of Marshall. Starting at the point, a 5'9" junior, number 2, Jaden Turner. Starting at another guard, 5'11" senior, number 1, Rajon Sims. Starting at post, a 6'3" senior, number 10, Jaden Cook. Starting at post, a 6'5" sophomore, number 12, Ernest Cruikshank. And starting at guard, a 6'1" senior, number 0, Ryan Ross. The Mavericks are coached by Mr. Draymond Boyd, assisted by Gerald Williams, Robert Knox, Stephen Hodge, and Parker McNeil. And now, Indian fans, get on your feet to meet your Fightin Indians of Jacksonville. Starting at guard, a 6' senior, number 1, Isaiah Hamilton. Starting at guard, a 6'2" junior, number 4, Abdul Bates. Starting at guard, a 6'2" senior, number 5, Jabari Kennedy. Starting at guard, a 6'2" sophomore, number 10, Ben Bolton. And starting at forward, a 6'5" senior, number 13, King Jordan Dorsey. Your Fightin Indians are coached by Mr. Cody Schmidt, assisted by Jakari Lewis and Charles Kendrick. Officials for tonight's game are Mr. Roderick Davis, Mr. Stephen Weems, and Mr. Tom Valley.
Starting for Jacksonville tonight, Isaiah Hamilton, Isaiah Hamilton, Abdul Bates, Jabari Kennedy, Ben Bolton, and tonight Jordan Dorsey starting in the post for Jacksonville. For Marshall, Ryan Knox, Jaden Turner, Rajon Sims, Jaden Cooks, and Ernest Cruikshank. Once again, thank you for joining us on JISD Live. Just about to get started here with Fightin Indian basketball as Jacksonville takes on the Marshall Mavericks. And last second, we're switching out the game ball. And here's the tip. Jacksonville wins it. Hamilton almost makes his way to the basket but gets fouled. Or no foul, just deflected out of bounds. Hamilton now inbounding, sends it deep for Bates. Bates back to Hamilton, hands it off to Bolton. Bolton back to Hamilton. Jacksonville moving the ball around. Now Dorsey with the ball, gets it to Kennedy. Ben Bolton through a screen, good on the 3, but waved off.
That is the number 0, Ryan Knox.
Ryan Knox called for the foul, fighting through the screen before the shot. So still 0-0, Jacksonville inbounding. Dorsey gets it to Kennedy. Same looking action, but Ben Bolton now sends it over to Hamilton. Hamilton into the lane. Now Kennedy pulls the trigger on a 3, blocked by Jaden Cooks. And Jaden Turner going to bring it ahead for the Mavericks. Turner into the lane, now hands it off put up no good. Second chance points are up and good for Ernest Cruikshank. First points on the board go to the Mavericks. Hamilton with the ball for Jacksonville. 7 minutes remaining here in the first, 2-0. Bates into the lane, steps through. What a move from Abdul Bates to tie up this game. Great looking step through from Abdul Bates, makes this a 2-2 game. And Marshall at the other end, spin move and pull up from Ryan Knox. Difficult shot that Knox hits. And then Bates at the other end. Great pass from Isaiah Hamilton. And Bates finishes. 4-4. Coming up on the 6-minute mark. Deflected and stolen from Hamilton. Handed off to Bates again. Great play from Isaiah Hamilton on defense. Leads to a great finish for Bates on the Hamilton assist. 6-4 is your score. 6 minutes. 6 minutes remaining here in the first.
Foul is on number 1, Isaiah Hamilton. His first personal. First quarter team by number 1.
Foul called. Isaiah Hamilton called for the foul. Now Marshall with the ball into the lane. Good pass and good finish from Jaden Cooks. Now Hamilton with the ball for Jacksonville. Sent ahead to Kennedy, but stolen by Cruikshank and then knocked out of bounds by Hamilton. Turner sends the ball to Sims. Sims to Cooks. Cruikshank with the ball for the Mavericks. Now, good move into the lane. Cruikshank with the offensive rebound and an and-one opportunity. So he's able to finish through contact. Jordan Dorsey called for his first personal. Second team foul for Jacksonville. 5:09 remaining in the first. Your score is Jacksonville 6, Marshall 8, and Marshall at the line. Free throw good for Cruikshank. 9-6 is your score as Hamilton brings it ahead for Jacksonville. Guarded by Cruikshank. Now sent over to Kennedy. Bates, cross-court pass for Hamilton into the corner. Ben Bolton three is blocked by Ryan Knox. So Jacksonville moving the ball around, looking for an open shot, but good defense from Knox. Now Bolton with the ball for Jacksonville. Puts it up and is short, fighting for the offensive rebound, but taken by Ryan Knox, and Marshall brings it ahead past half court. Good pass from Knox to Cruikshank. 11-6 is your score, coming up on 4 minutes remaining here in the first period. Naz Coleman Hawkins sends it to Kennedy, now into the corner. Ben Bolton up for three. Good looking shot from Ben Bolton. Makes this an 11-9 game. 3:55 remaining in the first. Jacksonville 9, Marshall 11. Sims gets it over to Knox, and now Knox to Cooks.
That is at number 1, Jamarian Sparks. His first personal.
Rajon Sims called for the foul. Ben Bolton with the ball, hands it off to Isaiah Hamilton. Hamilton pulls up just inside the three-point line, no good. Rebound, Sims. Sims guarded by Bates. Sims trying to fight through the defense, but good defense from Abdul Bates. And now timeout called. Timeout called by Marshall. Foul called. I believe this will go against Bates.
Foul is on number 4, Abdul Bates. His first personal. First quarter team foul number 3.
2:37 remaining here in the opening period. 9-11 is your score. Jacksonville down by 2 against Marshall. Travel called as Ryan Knox trying to get past the Ben Bolton defense. Jacksonville takes over, takes possession. Hamilton with the ball for Jacksonville. Tries to hand it off to Bates, a little miscommunication, but Hamilton takes it, reverse layup, gets it to fall, and one opportunity. What a finish from Isaiah Hamilton. Reverse layup through contact. Jaden Cooks called for the foul, and Isaiah Hamilton at the line for Jacksonville. Rims out. Abdul Bates with the rebound, sends it out to Hamilton. Hamilton to Bolton. Bolton pump fakes a three. Now pull up is up and in. Good move from Bolton to get open. Jacksonville with the lead, 13-11. 2 minutes remaining here in the opening period. Foul called as Jaden Turner was driving to the basket. Abdul Bates called for his second personal. 2:03 remaining in the opening period. Jacksonville with a 2-point lead, 13-11. As Isaac Suarez Mosley is going to check in for Abdul Bates as Bates has 2 early fouls. Bolton on defense. That three is up and short for Marshall. Now Hamilton out on the run for Jacksonville. Big foul as Hamilton went shoulder first into the padding. And important note here, eerily similar play happened 1 week ago, and Hamilton went shoulder first into the padding, and he's been nursing that shoulder injury since, and just went same shoulder again after the hard foul from Rajon Sims. And now we're getting some discussion amongst the officials.
His second personal. First quarter rebound number 4.
And that is going to be Sims's second personal. And flagrant, so first is up and good from Hamilton. Second is good as well. Big free throws from Isaiah Hamilton, as Jacksonville will also keep possession after the flagrant. Hamilton quick inbound to Brendan Richards, blocked, but gets his own rebound. Now Hamilton in the corner, pulls up from 3, no good. And rebound Ryan Knox, but then fouled by Naz Coleman Hawkins. 14-11 is your score. Jacksonville with a 3-point lead against Marshall. 1:45 remaining here in the opening period. Ryan Knox at the line for the Mavericks. First is up, no good. Both teams in the bonus for the remainder of this period. Second is up and good for Knox. 12-14, Jacksonville 2-point lead. Suarez Mosley with the ball, now gets it back to Hamilton. Hamilton past half court, gets it back to Suarez Mosley. Now Ben Bolton, deep 3 is up, no good. Rebound Coleman Hawkins fighting for it, and then Hamilton knifes in, gets the rebound and puts it up. And then Hamilton quickly back on defense to deflect it. Marshall trying to get it in to Crookshank, but foul called. That foul going to go against Isaiah Hamilton. That's his second personal, and with both teams in the bonus, Ernest Crookshank will head to the line for Marshall. First is up, no good. Marshall starts 2 of 4 from the line. Isaiah Hamilton going to have a seat for Jacksonville, and Jace Meza comes in. Second for Crookshank is up and good. Brendan Richards gets it into Isaac Suarez Mosley. Now back to Richards. Richards up the court, past half court, into the lane. Now to Meza. Meza quickly puts it up and gets fouled. Meza quickly attacking the basket after stubbing into this game and is rewarded with a trip to the line. First for Meza is up, no good. Jacksonville also starting 2 of 4 from the line in this game. Second for Meza is up, also no good. Jacksonville offensive rebound, but stolen as Brendan Richards was trying to get that to Naz Coleman Hawkins. Now the Mavericks headed the other way into the lane. That shot put up and blocked, and then Isaac Suarez Mosley, heady play from the sophomore going out of bounds, able to throw it off of a Marshall player, and he'll bring it ahead for Jacksonville. 30 seconds remaining here in the opening period. Suarez Mosley controls it for Jacksonville. Jacksonville with a 3-point lead. Brendan Richards, open look at 3. That shot is up and good. 3 points for Brendan Richards. 19-13 is your score in the final seconds of this opening period. Cruikshank puts it up and gets fouled. Naz Coleman-Hawkins going to be called for his second personal, and Cruikshank will go to the line and shoot 2 for the Mavericks. His first is up and in. Jaden Turner going to have a seat for Marshall, and Jakyron Warren going to check in. Second free throw for Cruikshank is up, also good. Jacksonville set to inbound. Suarez Mosley, 10 seconds remaining here in the first. Suarez Mosley with the ball for Jacksonville and going to be fouled. Jakyron Warren quickly picks up a foul after checking in, and Suarez Mosley set to shoot from the line for Jacksonville. First is up, no good. Caden Sanders and Jordan Dorsey check in for Jacksonville. 5.5 remaining here in the opening period. Suarez Mosley no good from the line. Final seconds. Half-court shot is up, almost in for Rajon Sims. At the end of the first, Jacksonville 19, Marshall 15. Good first period of action for the Indians as they're able to hold this 4-point lead. We are started here in our second period of action. Jacksonville starting this period with a steal. Caden Sanders with it for Jacksonville, gets it to Brendan Richards. Brendan has it stolen and then immediately stolen again. Suarez Mosley with the ball stolen again. Back-to-back steals, and then a missed dunk from Rajon Sims. As we are now joined by Ryan Travis, fresh from the historic Tomato Bowl. Can you give us a recap of the soccer action?
Ooh, that was a great move from Mosley. Brendan Richards able to get the rebound. Mosley, big basket for Jordan Dorsey.
21-15 is your score. Timeout, Marshall.
Yeah, big win over at the Tomato Bowl tonight for your Maidens soccer team. Big 3-0 win over the Texas High Lady Tigers.
I did see JV won big as well.
They did, 7-0 for them. But the Maidens still have yet to concede a goal in district play, which is pretty impressive.
Wow. And it's not a bad district. You know?
No, it's a very tough district.
Not a bad district, that 5A district. So kind of speaks to the just the strength of that Maidens roster and program. Marshall inbounds it, and they're set to bring it ahead.
Big three off the rim, rebound. Goes Jacksonville's way. Mosley quickly down the floor, puts this one up.
What a shot from Isaac Suarez Mosley. Amongst the trees, finishes through contact and one opportunity. Jacksonville set to inbound. Jabari Kennedy handling that for the Indians. 24-15 is your score. 6:44 remaining here in the second. Suarez Mosley with it for Jacksonville. Into the lane, trying to get it to Dorsey, but stolen by Jaden Cooks.
A big steal there from Marshall, trying to keep this Jacksonville lead where they can fight back. They stretched it out to 9 with under 6.5 minutes remaining here in the second quarter.
Good move from Jaden Turner to get into the lane, and then fouled on the shot attempt. Jordan Dorsey going to be hit with his second personal. First is up and good for Turner. 6 of 8 to start from the line are the Mavericks. Make that 7 of 9 as Turner hits his second. 17-24 is your score. Deep three from Suarez Mosley, short, no good. Rebound, Turner. Jaden Castle hit with the call. So Jaden Cooks at the line for the Mavericks. First is up, no good. .556 remaining here in the second. 24-17 is your score. Jacksonville out in front. Second is up, no good. Rebound, Castle. Suarez Mosley sends it over to Kennedy. Kennedy back to Mosley. Deflected. Timeout, Jacksonville.
It's a really good crowd in here tonight.
Really good crowd. You missed a great Fightin Maidens game. They ended up winning 88
it was a beatdown
to 28 on senior night. Big night for all the seniors on that team. And it's been a great period and a half, a great first half of action here for your Fightin Indian action. As they currently have a 7-point lead against Marshall. 5:44 remaining here in the second period. Isaac Suarez-Mosley set to inbound for Jacksonville. Gets it in to Castle, but then knocked out of bounds by Sims. Suarez-Mosley sends it to Kennedy. Kennedy trying to get it into Castle, who will be fouled. That foul will be against Cruikshank. His first personal foul, third team foul for the Mavericks. 5:31 remaining here in the period. This inbound into Castle, underneath the basket, puts it up and puts it in. Good move from Jaden Castle.
Yeah, really great finish there for Jaden. He's had a couple opportunities there trying to find one. And Marshall was playing some really good defense, but gets handed the inbound. I mean, literally handed. It looked like Isaac Suarez-Mosley placed it into his hands, and then a really great turn and finish at the basket.
The Marshall coach very upset with the lack of a walk call. Cruikshank went high up to get that entry pass and is then fouled on the shot attempt. Explosive athlete.
It's going to go against Jace Mesa. His first personal foul, team foul number 3.
So both teams with 3 fouls, 5:15 remaining here in the second. First is up and good for Cruikshank. 8 of 12 have the Mavericks started from the line this game.
Brendan Richards back in the game for Jace Mesa.
Second is good as well for Cruikshank.
Isaac Suarez-Mosley going to bring the ball down the floor now for the Indians. Finds Richards. Brendan going to get it back to Mosley. Bolton now finding Mosley, able to get past 2 defenders, finds Brendan Richards, going to take it in himself, off the glass and in.
Pretty finish from Brendan Richards. Scoop layup, left-handed, off glass. 19-28. Jacksonville with a 9-point lead. 4:40 remaining here in the second. Deflected by Suarez-Mosley. And now Turner over to Sims, back to Turner. Turner into the lane and then lost it. Jacksonville ball. Suarez-Mosley bringing it ahead for Jacksonville.
And he picked up by Cruikshank. Finds Kennedy, now to Bolton. That one deflected away by Rajon Sims. Jacksonville will keep possession here off the inbound.
Yeah,
Looks
Jacksonville
like
with
Ben
some momentum. Tying his shoe, I believe.
Just tying a shoe.
Yeah.
Caleb Paul now into the game for the Mavericks. Jaden Turner going to make his way off.
Kennedy set to inbound for Jacksonville. Gets it to Suarez-Mosley. Jacksonville
Little
into
floater.
lane, and floater is good from Isaac Suarez-Mosley. 30-19. Paul with the ball for the Mavericks. Now 3 is up, off back iron, no good. That 3 from Ryan Knox. And then foul called.
I think it's going to go against Jabari.
It's going to be Kennedy's first personal. 4th team foul for Jacksonville. 3:34 remaining in the period. Sims set to inbound. Good inbound and good finish from Jaden Cooks.
Suarez Mosley once again bringing the ball down the floor for the Indians. Finds Kennedy.
Back to
Now Mosley.
Going to be called for the travel. Now Sims set to inbound for the Mavericks. Going to be sent over to Caleb Paul. Back to Sims. And back to Paul.
Paul looking inside. Now Sims inside for Cooks.
Good pass from Sims to Cooks, and then foul.
Going to go against Jaden Cooks.
So both teams with 4 fouls and just about 3 minutes remaining here in this period. That's also Jaden Cooks' 3rd personal. Suarez Mosley going to bring it across half court and get the play call from head coach Cody Schmidt. This ball working its way around. Brendan Richards now open, look in the corner for Suarez Mosley, off back of the rim. Paul with the rebound, and he'll bring it ahead for Marshall.
Caleb Paul picked up by Suarez Mosley. Now Knox able to find Paul once again. Picked up by Mosley. Paul finds Travius Willie. His shot off the rim. Rebound goes to Isaac Suarez Mosley. Trying to get it quickly down the floor for Ben Bolton. Good jump there from Caleb Paul. Able to get a hand on it, knock it out. So the Indians will inbound. Ben Bolton gets it back in for Suarez Mosley. Now to Kennedy. Suarez Mosley picked up by Paul, looking inside for Brendan Richards. Now back to Mosley, thought about a 3, finds Bolton inside. Brendan Richards turns around, off the rim, trying to get his own rebound, and it goes to Ernest Cruikshank.
2 minutes remaining here in the period. Jacksonville with a 30-21 lead against Marshall. Paul to Sims. Now deflected. Suarez Mosley sends it ahead to Bolton. Bolton lays it up off iron, and then rebound put back for Jaden Castle.
Yeah, great finish there for Jaden Castle, and a really good job down here from Jabari Kennedy breaking that ball up and starting that quick transition.
Yeah, give Kennedy credit for the deflection, and then give Castle credit for running back in transition and trailing the play, as he will be hit with a foul. That'll be Jacksonville's 5th team foul. It was also a shooting foul. Either way, we're going to have Ernest Cruikshank at the line. It's also Castle's 2nd foul.
Jordan Dorsey going to come back in for Jaden. Second one from Cruikshank, up and in.
Suarez Mosley bringing it ahead. 9-point lead for Jacksonville, 32-23. Just over a minute remaining here in the half. That pass intended for Brendan Richards, broken up and stolen by Marshall. Now another 3 attempt is up, halfway down, but no good for Zytravius Willie. And then Ryan Knox will get fouled. That's going to be Jordan Dorsey's 3rd personal. Knox first is up and in. Mavericks are 12 of 16 from the line so far tonight. Second is up and in.
Brendan Richards gets us back underway off the inbound. 45 seconds remaining here in the first half. Jacksonville still leading by 7. Probably going to look to get the last shot of the half if they can. Suarez Mosley finds Bolton, pulls up for 3.
Big shot for Ben Bolton. Another 3 makes this a 10-point Jacksonville lead. Paul with the ball for the Mavericks. Now, great defense, but foul called.
That'll be Dorsey's 4th personal foul, I think.
And that will send Ryan Knox back to the line. He just went 2 for 2 moments ago. We'll see how he does on this trip. First is up, no good. Second is up, no good. So the Lee Traylor free throw jinx works in Jacksonville's favor there. Closing seconds of the half. Jacksonville 10-point lead. Suarez Mosley heaves the 3, no good. So at the end of the first half, Jacksonville with the 35-25 lead. And scoring has been spread out for Jacksonville. 6 points for Isaac Suarez Mosley, 4 points for Isaiah Hamilton, 5 points for Brendan Richards, 6 points for Abdul Bates, 8 points for Ben Bolton, 4 points for Jaden Castle, and 2 points for Jordan Dorsey. For Marshall, 13 points for Ernest Cruikshank, 5 apiece for Ryan Knox and Jaden Cooks, and then 2 for Jaden Turner. So a big first half for Jacksonville. They're able to kind of put it together, especially in that second period. And they come out with a 10-point lead at halftime.
Yeah, it's been a good first half. I mean, I only got to really watch the second quarter there. But it's been a very chaotic game. It's been very back and forth. There's been quite a few fouls, especially in that second quarter. I mean, you've got Jordan Dorsey at 4 in the first half. That's definitely not something that you want to see.
Yeah, and then 2 apiece for Isaiah Hamilton, Abdul Bates, Naz Coleman Hawkins, and Jaden Castle. So you're right, lots of fouls.
Lots of fouls.
And then similar story for Marshall. I don't
I mean,
know
it's
that I
been
have
both
everybody.
ways.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah.
I don't know that I have everybody's, but I've got Jaden Cooks at 3, 2 for Rajon Sims, and then 1 apiece for Ryan Knox, Jakyron Warren, and Ernest Cruikshank. So yeah, you're right. It's been a physical game. I mean,
very physical. Yeah.
Lots of transition.
And they're calling it really tight.
They are.
Like
they are.
I know last Friday things got kind of chippy there between Texas High and Jacksonville, but I think most of that was kind of contributed to them not calling much of anything, and it's kind of the opposite of that from what I've seen so far today.
Yeah, certainly. You know, they're calling it tight, and all you can really ask for is consistency with you know how they're going to call the game.
Absolutely.
So we'll see if they kind of keep up that level of kind of tightness as far as you know the shortness of the whistle in the second half. But Jacksonville so far able to withstand, you know, not shooting well from the line. They're 2 out of 7 from the line. They've only gone to the line 7 times. And Marshall is 13 out of 18 from the line. So Jacksonville sending Marshall to the line a lot in that first half, and Marshall hitting a lot of those free throws in that first half. But Jacksonville has done a good job defensively otherwise, because more than half of Marshall's first half points have come from free throws. And that kind of speaks to Jacksonville's level of effectiveness just when it comes to your run-of-the-mill defense, not giving up open shots or anything like that.
How many did you say we're at?
I have Marshall as having taken 19 free throws.
That's a lot in one half. My goodness.
And they have made 13 of those.
Yeah, that's a lot of free throws. Somehow we've got to figure out for Jacksonville basketball how to get in the positive on these free throws. It seems like every game the other team is taking significantly more free throws than we are.
Yeah.
And whether they make them or not, I mean, because we have 7, we've been to the line 7 and taken 7 free throws, and they have 19.
Correct.
That's crazy.
I think at least part of that, meaning how you kind of reference that Jacksonville sends the opponent to the line a lot. And it's not just, this game. It's kind of a lot of the games. Certainly you want to cut that down. You don't ever want to send your opponent to the line a whole lot. That's just not a good way.
It'd be one thing if we sent them 19 and we're at 20.
Sure.
But you're giving up lots of points from the free throw line in every game. And, they've had some games this season that have been so tight. I mean, 1-point games, 3-point games.
It's a huge part of the sport, and it often can decide who wins and loses. I'm not talking about Jacksonville themselves getting to the line. Certainly you want that to happen more. They have a lot of athletes on this team, a lot of slashers.
I definitely am saying they need to get to the line more. You've got to figure out how to draw those fouls in there, because there's plenty of baskets where they could go up and get fouled, and they don't, and they end up,
of course,
turning it over.
We're in agreement. They should get to the line. I'm just speaking to why Jacksonville sends opponents to the lines at a high rate. And I think part of that, not all of it, certainly you want to cut down on it, but I think part of it is just Jacksonville has a really physical defensive philosophy. They definitely want to set the tone on defense, and oftentimes they do. They make it a physical game, and they have a lot of athletes that can crash the boards from the three-point line and run in. And so naturally, especially if you struggle to play aggressively and play physically without fouling, which we've seen some from this Jacksonville team, you're going to send your opponent to the line a lot if that's the kind of tone you set out to set on defense. If you're going to play physically and try to set the tone on defense, you're likely to get some fouls. And Jacksonville certainly needs to cut down on them. But I do like the philosophy, and I like the ability of Jacksonville to do what they've done tonight, which, yes, they've sent Marshall to the line a lot, and yes, Marshall has hit a lot of those free throws, but in their just normal sets, Marshall has really struggled to get open looks at the basket, and a big part of that is how physical Jacksonville is on defense, especially in the post. You get guys like Jaden Castle, Jordan Dorsey, Naz Coleman Hawkins, who just really, really, really fight to not let entry passes be easy. And out on the perimeter, Jacksonville tries to jump a lot of passing lanes and get a lot of, hands in passing lanes for deflections. And yes, it has led to a lot of trips to the line, and you want to cut down on that. But I like where they're at defensively outside of sending their opponent to the line, which I know is a big caveat.
I know. I think you can play really physical defense like they are, and you can also play cleaner than they are as well, and not give up those fouls. You can play physically on offense too and draw fouls, and we're not really seeing that either.
Yeah, for sure. And they need to do that. They have the athletes to do it. They have slashers that can cut to the bucket and finish above the rim, and that should naturally lead to a lot of free throws attempts, which they haven't had, meaning Jacksonville, through one half. So we'll see if Jacksonville can do these two things we're talking about, just kind of win the free throw game in the second half. They have a great opportunity to win because they've been hugely behind in the free throw margin through one half and have a 10-point lead at halftime. So if they can get to the line more and send Marshall to the line at a little bit of a slower pace in the second half.
A lot slower pace.
If you can do those two things, then you've got a great chance.
19 free throws in a game is a lot. 19 free throws in a half is really a lot.
Yeah, so for just some context, to have we have a little piece of paper, each of us, that we kind of keep up with free throws, and I have that number at 24 attempts that we kind of spot ourselves in terms of.
We may go past that tonight.
We're going past it for sure. But that just kind of gives you some idea of what we typically expect to see in a game. Jacksonville on pace to send Marshall to the line a total of 38 times tonight. So we may need a second piece of paper, once it all comes down to it.
We might.
Outside of that free throw game, I know we spent a lot of halftime talking about, the free throw margin, but
It's a big part of the game, and it's
is.
been the difference maker in a lot of these games this season where they've been really close. And you look at it, and we've been to the line, 7 times in the whole game, and we've sent them 20. I mean, that ends up being a big difference if you're losing by 1. And, yes, they could have scored those baskets that you are fouling them on to begin with. But when you're sending them and giving them, just free looks at the basket over and over and over again, if they're good from the line, I mean, those are a lot of hidden points in there that, like even now, 35 to 25, if we gave them 10 of those free throw attempts, it could be a much larger, margin here at halftime.
I think the easiest way to put that is just the free throws are what has kept Marshall in this game. That's what's kept it a 10-point margin instead of being a much bigger lead for Jacksonville. But, we do need to point out, because we spent the entire halftime talking about free throws, there are more aspects of basketball than just that. It's a huge part of it, especially in high school basketball. Oftentimes the game can be decided by free throws. And so, yes, Jacksonville needs to clean that up, but they do enjoy a 10-point lead. And a lot of that comes from some really great offense outside of the free throw game. Like I said, the scoring has been spread around very well tonight. And 35 points for this Jacksonville team. They're scoring well above their average pace, through one half. Speaking of through one half, we're just about ready to start the second half here for your Fightin Indians versus the Marshall Mavericks. And Jacksonville set to start with possession. Jabari Kennedy going to inbound for Jacksonville. And we are underway in the second half as Jabari Kennedy sends it in to Isaiah Hamilton. Hamilton looking for Castle. Ben Bolton 3 up, rims out, no good. Rebound Crookshank.
Jaden Turner bringing the ball down the floor for the Mavs. Ryan Knox guarded by Ben Bolton. Finds Jaden Cooks inside, working against Jaden Castle. Marshall able to get the rebound, and Jaden Cooks finishes at the basket.
Hamilton the other way for Jacksonville. Entry pass, Jaden Castle down low, rises up, puts it up, no good. Rebound Hamilton. Hamilton into the lane, great pass to set up Jaden Castle. 37-27 is your score. 7-minute mark of the third period. Jacksonville with a 10-point lead.
Great job there from Ben getting a hand on the ball.
Ben doing a little bit of politicking maybe, claiming it went off of the Marshall player off the deflection. But Marshall keeps possession.
Ryan Knox guarded by Abdul Bates. Now Crookshank finds Sims. Now inside for Knox. Finishes at the basket.
Strong finish from Ryan Knox. Finishes through the Ben Bolton foul. So he'll head to the line. For the 20th Marshall free throw of the night. Ryan Knox, we'll see if he's able to complete the three-point play. And he is good from the line. 37-30 is your score.
Hamilton pulls up for the jumper, rattles the rim. Castle gets the rebound. Bolton trying to come down with it. It's going to go out off of Marshall, so Jacksonville will keep possession. Off the inbound from Isaiah Hamilton. Hamilton finds Castle, puts up the shot. no good on the basket, but he will go to the line shooting 2. That foul going to go against number 10, Jaden Cooks. His 4th, right? First one up and in from Jaden Castle. Second one good from Castle as well. Back to a 9-point lead here for the Indians. Brian Knox trying to get a play set up here for the Mavericks. Finds Sims. Sims guarded by Kennedy. Sims finds Cruikshank. Jaden Castle on defense for the Indians. Cruikshank driving in. And this shot from the corner from Zytravius Willie off the rim and out for a Jacksonville ball. Bolton finds Kennedy, now Hamilton. Lay it off for Castle, finishes at the basket.
Another great assist from Hamilton to Castle. That connection has worked tonight for Jacksonville. 41-30 is your score. Jacksonville with an 11-point lead.
Turner finds Sims, gonna drive in, puts this one off the glass and in.
Pretty looking finish from Rajon Sims. 41-32, 4.5 remaining here in the third. Jacksonville with a 9-point lead.
Bates to Kennedy, now Hamilton. Thought about pulling up for a shot. Now gonna find Ben Bolton. Back to Hamilton, pulls up for 3. That one good from Isaiah Hamilton.
Big shot from Isaiah Hamilton, stretches this back out to a 12-point lead for Jacksonville at the 4-minute mark.
Cruikshank off the glass. Hamilton gets the rebound quickly down the floor, trying to find Bates. Bates able to come up with it after the pass kind of behind him. Now Castle finishes. Another great pass from Isaiah Hamilton to Jaden Castle.
Really great pass from Hamilton. Wild shot from Ryan Knox, no good. Rebound Castle, now sent ahead for Bates, who lays it up. And Jacksonville has stretched this out to a 16-point lead, and timeout Marshall. 48-32 is your score, 3:24 remaining in the third.
Those were some quick baskets there. And they're really not marking Jaden that tight. We saw it last week from Texas High. Every time he touched the ball, he at least had 2 guys closing in on him, sometimes 4. And he's had lots of room under the basket, especially here in the third quarter, where Isaiah is just able to lay it off to him, it seems like, over and over again, and no one's really marking him.
Yeah, and Isaiah's done a great job tonight, both in transition and in set plays of getting into the lane, having a defender collapse to him, and then passing it off to an open teammate underneath the basket. And
he's drawing the attention
many
for
of
sure.
those times it has been Jaden Castle.
Yeah, Isaiah's doing a good job drawing some attention for sure.
And I don't know if it's before you arrived, but Isaiah showing a lot of toughness as well, as he was sent into the wall with a hard foul that was called a flagrant early in this game, and he crashed into the same shoulder that he injured a week ago.
Goodness.
And immediately pops up and hits 2 free throws, and has just been fighting through it this entire night and playing extremely well and showing a ton of toughness. Good finish from Ryan Knox. And now Hamilton sends it ahead for Bolton. Bolton pulls the trigger on a three. No good. Offensive rebound, Jaden Castle. And then Bolton sends it out to Bates, but taken by Crookshank. Mavericks out on the run and swatted away. Good transition defense from Isaiah Hamilton with a chase down block.
Yeah, and Ben kind of baited him into that. He kind of went low, made him go up for it, and Isaiah able to get a hand on it, knock it out of bounds.
Yeah, really great defense from both of them in transition. As Zytravius Willie kind of crashed into the lane.
They're doing a lot of crashing into the lane. We've seen some like really uncontrolled runs in.
He does get the call, and that's going to go against Castle and be his third. Second team foul for Jacksonville here in this third period. First is up, no good. Second is up and good. Hamilton set to bring it ahead for Jacksonville. Jacksonville with a 13-point, 48-35 lead against Marshall with 2.5 remaining here in the third.
Hamilton can take it in himself. That one off the rim. Castle gets the rebound and the putback.
Jaden Castle been huge tonight. 13 points for Jaden Castle.
How many did he have at halftime? 6? He had 7 points.
I think so, something like
that.
Third quarter. 6, 7 coming into half. So a big third quarter for Jaden Castle. That one of the putback variety. He's had multiple where he and Isaiah Hamilton have been on the same page. So big second half already for Jaden Castle. And a big second half for Jacksonville as they've stretched out a 10-point halftime lead to a 15-point lead here in the third. 2:24 remaining in the third. Marshall set to inbound. Turner going to bring it ahead and gets past half court. Now sends it to Sims. Sims to Crookshank, guarded by Castle. Good defense from Jacksonville. Ben Bolton sends it ahead to Hamilton. Hamilton out on the run, puts it up. And Jaden Castle fighting for the ball, out of bounds. Marshall will take over. 2 minutes remaining here in the third period. Jacksonville 50, Marshall 35. Sims, just an open runway to the bucket. Wide open lane for Sims. And so Hamilton brings it ahead.
Hamilton trying to find Brendan Richards.
Just miscommunication, not on the same page.
Yeah, Brendan looked like he was trying to go to a different spot. Didn't even know the pass was coming.
So now Turner into the lane. And Abdul Bates going to be called for the foul. And that's Bates' third. Third team foul for Jacksonville, 1:28 remaining here in the third period. Inbound for the Mavericks. That three is up, no good. Suarez Mosley fighting for the ball, but Sims with the rebound and the acrobatic layup. Hamilton all the way down court for Ben Bolton. What a pass from Isaiah Hamilton.
And Jaden Turner able to lay it in on the other end for Marshall. 11-point lead now for the Indians. Under a minute left here in the third. Suarez Mosley finds Hamilton now inside for Castle. Jaden with a great move to the basket.
15 points for Jaden Castle. 40 seconds remaining here in the third. Jacksonville 54, Marshall 41. Jacksonville set to take over, 36.7 seconds remaining, and Brendan Richards set to inbound for the Indians. Hamilton gonna bring it ahead. Gonna be picked up by Crookshank. Sent across to Brendan Richards, now back to Hamilton. Not sure what he called there.
Was there a foul?
I don't think so. It's almost like he called like carrying, but it was on a pass attempt. I don't know. Sims sends it over to Turner. Marshall with the ball. Final seconds of this third period. Turner into the lane. Now sends it into the corner and then sent for Sims. Hamilton out on the run, able to save it. Gets the shot up. Almost able to get a great finish, but comes up gingerly at the end of that play. Huge effort play from Isaiah Hamilton to chase that ball all the way down the court, trying to lay it up in the final seconds of the period. But then when he made his way back to the bench, he did it largely on 1 foot. A lot of pain still. Gotta hope that's not anything serious, as he's been fighting through, like we mentioned earlier, a significant shoulder injury coming into this game that was aggravated when he was sent aggressively into the wall early in this game, into that same shoulder. And just huge toughness displayed by Isaiah all night to fight through that pain and have a great game. So hopefully, like we said, nothing serious, and he's able to shake that off.
Yeah, it just looked a little awkward whenever he was trying to stop.
Yeah, we will certainly keep you updated on that. On the court for Jacksonville, Ben Bolton, Naz Coleman Hawkins, Brendan Richards, Abdul Bates, and Isaac Suarez Mosley.
Turner gets this one inside for Cooks. Now a 3 from Ryan Knox.
Good looking shot from Ryan Knox. Cuts this to a 10-point Jacksonville lead, 54-44. 7:40 remaining in regulation.
Suarez Mosley finds Bates. Bates now over to Bolton. Picked up by Knox. Brendan Richards now gets this pass. Now back over to Suarez Mosley.
Jacksonville taking their time on this possession. Brendan Richards with the ball for Jacksonville, sends it over to Suarez Mosley. 7 minutes remaining here in the fourth. Jacksonville's run off 40 seconds on this possession. Richards into the lane and lays it up.
Great finish there from Brendan Richards.
Just knifes into the lane and then easy scoop layup. Crookshank with the ball for Marshall. Timeout called.
Do you have any idea what this passing pattern was called that they were running over here?
Absolutely not. They kept running screens down here to get a player open on the other side of the court, just to kind of toss it back and forth.
But they did it like 6 times,
they did,
8
absolutely.
times.
A lot of motion is really well done. It ran a ton of time off the clock, and it's worth pointing out that's coming off the back of a big 3 from Ryan Knox to cut this to a 10-point lead. So to just kind of absolutely kill in its tracks any chance at momentum for Marshall by burning 40 seconds of game clock, and then just when you decide to attack, you do so decisively, immediately, and effectively with Brendan Richards as he just cuts into the lane and lays it in. So great sequence from Jacksonville there offensively. Turner inbounds it. 3 attempt again from Knox.
This one knocked out of bounds. 6:38 left here in the fourth. Jacksonville leading by 12. Suarez Mosley picked up by Jaden Turner. Finds Bates.
I think that's, you might call that, kind of a motion offense, something like that. I'm pretty sure Coach K kind of, built a career at Duke on that. No, that's absolutely just knowledge I have in my brain and not being texted to me by Matt Montgomery at all. Abdul Bates now with the ball for Jacksonville. Now Coleman Hawkins sends it over to Ben Bolton.
Bolton finds Mosley, gonna take it in himself. Great layup.
Great layup from Suarez Mosley, cutting to the basket, making this a 14-point lead. Jacksonville 58, Marshall 44, 5:30 remaining here in regulation. Cruikshank with the ball for Marshall, but now sends it back out to Sims. And then Ben Bolton, great break on the ball as he gets into the lane.
Basket will not count. Ryan Knox pushed Isaac Suarez Mosley in the back. Now I'm not sure what is being called. He's going to call something on Abdul Bates.
I didn't see what happened. I mean, I certainly saw a Marshall player run in and seem to make contact. Either way, call goes against Bates, and now Marshall with the ball. Paul gets it back to Turner. Turner back to Paul. Into the lane. And Marshall will keep possession.
So I think, I just watched this back. I think what the referee saw was Bates turn, and it almost looked like his forearm went into the back of the Marshall player. But that was because
inbounded off of Ben Bolton's back by Turner. And then great defense from Naz Coleman Hawkins. Able to deflect it. Now Bates pays it off at the other end. Sorry to cut you off, but some great play from Naz Coleman Hawkins. Made it necessary, Ryan. Sorry, go ahead. So Abdul Bates maybe getting caught with what looked like a forearm.
I mean,
is that what you said?
I'm pretty sure it should have gone against Ryan Knox. Ryan Knox is running in, and he hits Abdul Bates in the shoulder and kind of knocks him forward as he pushes Suarez Mosley. So I mean, it was just a bad call from the referee. Gotcha. He didn't have a good angle on it. That's for sure. Yeah,
those kind of bang plays. You never know. Everybody's trying to do their best out here, I'm sure, but certainly looked up here like Jacksonville just kind of
I think if he had been on this side of the court, he could have seen it better.
Yeah, for sure. Some great play back-to-back on these last few possessions from Naz Coleman Hawkins, who's our player spotlight of the game. Last year, then head coach Mark Alexander kind of introduced me, at least, to the idea of most valuable minutes. And last year he was doing that in terms of talking about Caden Franklin, who was a senior at the time. And he just talked about how there are players who they don't get the most minutes in the game and they don't fill up the stat sheet, but when they're out there, they make an impact, and those minutes that they get are perhaps the most condensed impact per minute of any player on the team. So even though they're not the quote-unquote star of the team, they have what he termed the most valuable minutes. And so if you were to pick one out for this team, you've got several candidates, but I think Naz Coleman's got a decent argument for that. Doesn't get a ton of minutes on this team, but when he comes in, he's making winning plays like that. He does that. Brendan Richards does that. There are multiple players on this team that do that, you're not necessarily filling up the stat sheet, but you're making plays like that one where Cruikshank has a chance at a bucket and you just knock it out and it ends up in a Jacksonville bucket on that same possession.
Interesting call there. Going against Jaden, he called for the travel. So Marshall now on offense. Ryan knocks down a big three.
Another big shot from Ryan Knox pulls this back to a 13-point deficit. And now Abdul Bates trying to answer, puts it up, no good. Rebound, Crookshank. And Turner brings it ahead. A lot of contact, no call. Now Bolton trying to get it to either Abdul Bates or Brendan Richards and split the difference right in the middle, out of bounds. Some hectic play.
I'm not sure what's going on. We went from calling everything to calling nothing.
With some really hectic play on that possession in particular as Jaden Cooks drove in and there was a ton of contact at the basket, no call. And then a lot of contact on that Ben Bolton pass attempt, but no call. Turner with the ball for Marshall. Now sends it into the corner, Sims. Good defense from Suarez-Mosley. And Cooks into the lane. Suarez-Mosley deflects it off of Jaden Cooks. So Jacksonville ball, great defense from Isaac Suarez-Mosley.
Suarez-Mosley quickly double teamed on this end. Castle finds Bates wide open.
What a pass from Jaden Castle. 62-47 is your score. 3:20 remaining here in regulation. Jaden Turner able to get that layup to fall. Brendan Richards with the ball for Jacksonville, and then deflected out of bounds by Turner. Bolton with the ball for Jacksonville, gets it to Brendan Richards. Open look at three for Isaac Suarez. Mosley is up and in. 65-49 is your score. Big shot from the sophomore, Isaac Suarez-Mosley.
Long three from Ryan Knox up off the rim, no good. Mosley gets the rebound, trying to find Bolton. Ryan Knox gonna knock this one out and goes into the first row.
He does.
Which the first row here is basically on the court. So you don't have to travel very far. Mosley finds Kennedy. 2.5 minutes remaining here in the fourth. Suarez-Mosley guarded by Jaden Turner. Now going to find Brendan Richards. Richards back to Bolton. Bolton finds Castle wide open. Jaden can't finish at the basket. Now Jaden Turner going to go the other way. We're going to have an injury timeout for Brendan. I've never seen a referee call it while the opposing team is shooting. That was crazy. Marshall has every right to be upset about that.
Oh, now we're getting a technical against Rajon Sims. So I think he shared your opinion about the original call.
I mean, you could have stopped it as soon as they shot, and whatever happened there, that was a very interesting call from the referee.
Bolton shooting free throws for Jacksonville. First is up and in. Second is up and in. 12 points for Ben Bolton. Jace Meza checks in for Jacksonville. Ben Bolton checks out, as does Jaden Castle. And Jabari Kennedy in for Jacksonville. Jordan Dorsey and Caden Sanders also in for the Indians.
2 minutes remaining in the ball game.
2 minutes left in regulation. Jacksonville 67, Marshall 49. Kennedy with the ball for Jacksonville, sends it to Suarez Mosley. Suarez Mosley gets it inside to Dorsey. Dorsey puts it up, it rattles the rim and falls.
Big bucket there for Jordan Dorsey.
69-49 is your score.
And a foul here go against Jordan Dorsey, and that will be his 5th personal foul.
Jaden Cooks at the line for Marshall. First is up, no good. .130 remaining here in regulation. Jacksonville with the 20-point lead.
I'm gonna say Marshall moved early, it looks like.
And the clock's running.
Suarez Mosley finds Kennedy. Now back for Mosley. Now to Meza. Suarez Mosley finds Naz Coleman Hawkins. Mosley gonna find Sanders. Hawkins now inside for Meza. I think they're gonna say Jace Meza stepped out of bounds. It's the only thing I could think of over there.
I believe that was the call. Either he or Caden Sanders kind of on the exchange. 53.6 seconds remaining. Jacksonville with the 69-49 lead here against the Mavericks. We're getting a stoppage for a Marshall substitution, I believe. And now we're set to resume. Marshall with the ball. Sorry, go ahead.
Guarded by Mosley. Still working. Puts up the shot. I think they're going to call Isaac Suarez Mosley for the foul. And that will send Ryan Knox to the line, shooting 2.
Suarez Mosley's first personal. 3rd team foul for Jacksonville.
As many minutes as he's played to be at 1 foul is very impressive.
First is up and good. Second is up, no good.
Nothing but net there for Ryan Knox. He's hit a bunch of threes.
He has, and he's got 20 points, does Ryan Knox. Aiden Odom called for the foul. Jacksonville set to inbound. Kennedy handling it for Jacksonville, gets it to Suarez Mosley.
Mosley trying to get past Kadarius Hicks.
20 seconds remaining here in regulation.
Jacksonville just content to run this one out. Jace Meza. 5 seconds remaining. And that will do it. Jacksonville with a big 69-53 win over Marshall.
Yeah, huge win for Jacksonville as this team has really kind of found their footing in a tough district slate. And Jacksonville tonight 15 points for Jaden Castle to lead all Jacksonville scorers. He was huge, especially in the second half.
Yeah, he had a big third quarter for sure.
He really did. 12 points apiece for Abdul Bates and Ben Bolton, 11 points for Isaac Suarez Mosley, 7 points for Isaiah Hamilton, 7 points for Brendan Richards, and then 5 points for Jordan Dorsey. Big night of scoring for Jacksonville. And then for Marshall, 20 points for Ryan Knox, 13 for Ernest Cruikshank, 7 for Jaden Cooks, 6 apiece for Jaden Turner and Rajon Sims, 7 for Jaden Cooks, sorry, I already mentioned that, and then 1 for Zytravius Willie. So big win for Jacksonville in boys basketball. Huge win for the Maidens in Maidens basketball. And then we know for sure that both JV and varsity girls soccer won earlier in the historic Tomato Bowl as you broadcast those games over at the Tomato Bowl.
Yep.
So I don't know if you've heard anything about the boys.
They play tomorrow in Texarkana at 12 and 2.
So boys soccer tomorrow in Texarkana against Texas High. It's actually kind of convenient. It's a long drive, so they'll be able to, make that drive on a Saturday.
If you had to choose a Saturday game, that's the one to have.
That would be the one. So, depending on how they do, it could be a clean sweep for Jacksonville Athletics this weekend. Huge night of action here at John Alexander Gymnasium and, simulcast over from the historic Tomato Bowl. Anything you want to add here for either what you saw over at the Tomato Bowl or here tonight at John A. Gym?
A lot of excellent Jacksonville wins tonight. Maidens had a big win over at the historic Tomato Bowl. They improved to 6-0 in district and have yet to concede a goal. So that's very exciting. 6 straight clean sheets for Ramsey Mateka, which I know everyone's very excited about that and trying to see how many games in a row that she can keep her streak going. Huge win for Maidens basketball here on senior night. I know I didn't get to watch a ton of that game, but, I turned it on in the first quarter, and it was 25-2 and was like, oh, okay, yeah, they're
final score in that
very
game
dominant tonight.
Final score was 88-28.
Well, I think my dad was watching, and he said it got out to 40-2 at one point.
Yeah, it was. They just smashed the gas pedal from the tip-off and never let up.
That's impressive.
It was fast and furious that entire game. Huge win for the Maidens on senior night.
And then a great win here for the Indians. I know that they're, I think, probably out of the playoff hunt at this point. They're 2 games back from the 2 teams ahead of them. I really think they needed to win last Friday's game. They've got a really tough stretch ahead. So, but definitely good to close this one out tonight. You're up at halftime by 10. You end up with a 16-point win. Just a really good second half. And you saw a lot of different faces tonight. There's some guys that you do not see get to play a lot of minutes that got to play quite a bit tonight. That's always really good to see when you can get everybody involved. And there were tons of guys involved on the scoring. Sometimes we've got some games where, there's 3 or 4 guys that are carrying the bulk of the scoring burden. But a number of guys able to get on the score sheet tonight, and a big win. That's very exciting. You definitely want to try to close out the season the best you can, and some big wins tonight for Jacksonville Athletics. Hopefully another one tomorrow for boys soccer. I'm excited to see what the Maidens basketball are able to do in the playoffs, because I think they have pretty firmly cemented themselves in the district race.
Yeah, huge night for Jacksonville Athletics. I also need to point out, once again, huge thanks to JHS senior Boston Helm, who showed up like a knight in shining armor after running the camera, doing commentary, trying to do stats and graphics for the girls' game tonight. I'm kind of bumbling my way through it. Boston shows up and runs the camera for every second of action for the boys' game. So huge thanks to Boston Helm. And on behalf of Boston Helm and Ryan Travis, I'm Lee Traylor. Thank you for joining us for all of the action here tonight on JISD Live.